What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to another daily fantasy quickie. What's up, guys? Welcome to another quickie. It's a Tuesday here in Manila and week 15. Aren't we? Week 15, right? It's week 15.
Week 15. Start of week 15.
Papi Roy, just some requests. I'm currently 9-0-9 against Papi Roy. Easy.
So if you lose 0-9 to Papi Roy, you'll be out
I'm
of the
out.
playoff.
I'm out of
You'll
the
be out
playoff
of the
position. But
And I'll be beside you because we're gonna be 9th and 10th.
that would mean also that you will get a good chance in making the playoffs because we still have 2 more weeks after this, right?
2 more weeks,
Yeah,
but
2 more
but
weeks
your
after
9th doesn't have any effect on me. I need the 8th spot to be the one that falls.
Well, yeah. No, I'm within playoffs, so that means I fell out of the playoff spot.
Yeah, but I hope I hope that you don't get 0-9 for your sake.
No,
That
Papi Roy,
hurts.
easy lang, easy. All right. It's just the first day. I hope my team would still make it, or at least give a fight, so that I won't end up being out
Well,
of the playoff position.
the first storyline might help you. I think.
First storyline.
Yeah, that might help you.
It helped me in a way, and in another way, in another team, it did not. But yeah, James Harden re-aggravated his injury, his hamstring. Well, doesn't seem major, in the sense that he probably, if it was a very important game, he might have, played. I think it's more precautionary because the description there was that he had hamstring tightness. So it's really not an injury, but more of he wasn't comfortable. That's how I read. That's how I took the notes.
I researched about it. I looked up some of the reporters and the interview, press conference interview, and Steve Nash. Steve Nash did say that before the game, Harden was already saying that something was not right. He knew that something was not right with his hamstring. They played. I mean, the scans were clean. The MRI was clean, so it was good. So they said, okay, let's you try it out. But it just didn't work out during the game. So Nash did say it was precautionary, but he could not give a timeline. That is what is the problem for us. I mean, we are fantasy managers first and foremost. So whether it's precautionary, whether it's not, whether it's whatever it is, doesn't matter to us. What matters is how long he's going to be out.
Yep. And it's either he plays or not. And if he doesn't play, that's going to be a problem for us fantasy managers.
One thing going against you is Kevin Durant is coming back. So, if they have their 2 stars, they might not really need James Harden a lot, right?
Yeah.
So,
which is good against Papi Roy because Papi Roy had James Harden.
Yeah.
And he also has Kyrie. That's why I got mold today. And he also had Darius Garland, which exploded today. Later we'll talk about him a bit more. But yeah, James Harden injury. Well, it couldn't come at a worse time.
Yes.
If your team is trying to catch that playoff spot, and I was just asked a while ago whether one of our followers was asking, he was offered James Harden for his Karl Anthony-Towns.
And he accepted?
No, he was asking me if he should accept. I told him that Harden has an injury. If you're worried about because he was worried about Karl Anthony-Towns maybe resting, and I told him that the rest would probably can go either way. James Harden could be rested later on because of such injury. The problem you have with James Harden now is that you won't be able to play him now because he has an injury.
That's that's a good advice actually. Right now, with this situation, whether Harden comes back the next game right away or maybe skips just 2 games and comes back again, the rest factor that we thought would not be a factor for James Harden would now be a major factor for him. He would be load managed from this game on, so he joins the risky group.
Yeah, well,
so to speak.
In
the Kawhis, the Embiids, he joins those groups.
The way I see it as well with this rest thing is that anyone can be rested these days, right? Any player can decide to just, okay, I'll just rest, right? So anyone could be rested at the time when you need them the most, right? So why get a player who's injured right now and still has that risk of getting arrested? I mean, at least Karl Anthony-Towns is healthy right now. Even if he rests later on, I think he still had a good enough team to manage or at least win some games or some
Actually,
wins.
One thing that Papi Roy's team, going back to Papi Roy's team, that he has Kyrie and James Harden. One thing that's good about teams like that is that both of them have similar stats set, and they play the same team. So yes, he loses James, but Kyrie would benefit the most. So in a way, it kind of mitigates the loss a little bit.
Yep.
And then maybe he can add from the FA. Of course, Harden will put in the IL, and he can add from the FA someone similar to Harden. So of course, not like Harden, but who can give them maybe the assist.
Yeah.
Maybe those 3-pointers that Harden does, and then he won't feel the loss as much.
Yeah.
So that's a tip for you in building teams in the future.
Yep.
Always have that that fallback, that handcuff player.
Yeah, so there, that James Harden injury, hopefully he won't miss too much time. I mean, in for the general public, not just for my sake, or for Papi Roy's sake, but at least we
I
hope
think
that
at least a week. At least it's a week.
Yeah, I think
might
so
be
too.
more. Might be more, and that's gonna be tricky because next week will be the playoff for a lot of.
The reason why I also think it's gonna be a week because he was out for how many games? 2-3 games already.
Yes.
And he re-injured it or had this re-aggravated the injury. So now they'll probably take more time to make sure that he gets it right before playing him.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
let's see. You might be surprised. Harden is one of the more durable players out there.
That's one thing going for him. But one thing going against him is Kevin Durant just took 1.5 months to come back from hamstring issue.
Might be another case of Kevin Durant.
Well,
we don't know, right? So,
but for Brooklyn, there's lots of ads here. Actually, not a lot, but maybe 2. Jeff Green is 1. Jeff Green, as long as Kevin Durant is still out, I think Jeff Green should be a short-term ad. And Bruce Brown. Landry Shamet is still out with his ankle problem. And then Tyler Johnson, I think he had knee surgery, knee procedure done, and he's out for a while. There's no more point guards in Brooklyn. Kyrie will have to reclassify himself as a point guard. And he has Choza. What's his name? Chris Choza as the backup, and that's not going to work. So Bruce Brown will probably take some of the minutes at the 2, the 3, the backup point. He's a versatile guy. So
yep.
Bruce Brown is my top ad out of this over Jeff Green.
And he can contribute in a lot of categories, not just in scoring, but he can rebound, he can pass, he can defend. So unlike Jeff Green, who probably will just give you threes and a few rebounds and some points.
Yeah. Since we're in the Nets already, I'll just add Nick Claxton because, of course, Jeremy and I talk about him a lot. I've not liked the past few games of Nick Claxton, and
today he had 16 minutes.
Yes. I don't think DeAndre Jordan played. I'm not sure, but I don't think DeAndre Jordan played. But
LaMarcus still played.
Even without DeAndre Jordan, he's not getting enough minutes, Nick Claxton. So maybe I made a mistake in that. I thought that he'll get enough 20 minutes. The backup center minutes would go to him. But it has not happened. Jeff Green has been getting some backup center minutes. So maybe reassess Nick Claxton.
Actually, Alice Johnson played.
Alice Johnson is also there. So
He played a minute more than Nick Claxton.
That's
Performed
worrying.
a lot more than Nick Claxton. He had 12 points and 7 rebounds. And LaMarcus played 29 minutes. So I think
Claxton is in other words, Claxton is a drop right now.
Yep.
In more simpler terms.
Yep.
You should drop him.
You should already drop him. All right. Another player who is injured is Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh man, this one hurts.
But not really surprising for a player who's as fragile as Kristaps.
But this one's not the knee. This one's the wrist. It's a sprained wrist, officially a sprained wrist that has bothered him since January, according to Rick Carlisle. I don't understand how it bothered him in January when he just started playing in January. But anyway, it's bothered him for a while, but the sprain itself, I think, it was just diagnosed now. Mm-hmm. And it's not gonna be a short injury, in my opinion. We hope tomorrow we won't wake up to the news that it's something more than a sprain, because they're gonna have MRIs tonight, tonight Manila time. So we'll find out later on what's the news. We just hope it's really just a sprain.
Yeah,
and I hope there's no fracture there or something.
Players who can be added for him is Dorian Finney-Smith, who has been playing well.
Playing very well. But I think Maxi Kleber should be the main beneficiary. Started today, and although he has his own injury, I think Maxi Kleber will, if Kristaps would miss a lot of games, Maxi Kleber should be able to produce in 34 to 35 minutes that he got today. Now, Nicolo Melli, my favorite players, he's starting and got 34 minutes also.
Yep.
He got 0 points.
He got 0 points, but he had 7 rebounds, 1 steal, and 2 blocks.
But what we want from him, of course, is the 3-pointer.
Yeah.
So, 3 points. The 3 points is poor man's Bertans or Kevin Love, maybe. Something like that. But
a better Bertans, probably.
You could roll the dice maybe in deeper leagues. Yeah. I mean, what if he gets hot?
Take a chance. 32 minutes is at least the one thing that's going right for him. He plays 32 minutes. He'll probably produce. He took 7 shots today, just missed all of them. So, I mean, not that it's a bad thing, but at least he has some opportunities to make some baskets. So you might want to roll the dice on him.
Another guy to consider is Boban. Boban in certain matchups will be played. So you have to choose the matchups and stream him accordingly to the matchup. But that's
the challenge though with Boban, is that you'll never know when he'll play. So if you add
you look at the matchup. But you could guess when Boban will play.
Yeah,
you can guess it. You can guess it. You will see. Look at his log.
Which teams would be?
Well, a while ago he should have played, but I think he didn't play that much.
See, he didn't even play. He didn't even play today.
I mean, the Philadelphia, but the Philadelphia's, the bigger teams, the Lakers, the teams that play slow pace, will be teams like the Clippers, the Lakers. Those teams, he might get some minutes there, here and there.
Yeah, but
personally,
I won't try that out, but yeah.
Just for streaming. I'm not saying
I mean, for
now.
streaming, you probably won't need it. But again, like I said, you don't know when he'll play. Maybe I stream him for tomorrow. He won't play there, and then I drop him, and then he plays. That would be annoying. Anyway. Malik Beasley is out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yes.
And pretty much he is done for the season. I don't think anyone would ask us if he is still a hold. Although I've seen some questions in other forums asking if he is still a hold. But
I mean, the math doesn't work. 4 to 6 weeks, it's week 15 plus 6 is like what? Week 21. There's no week 21, guys.
Yeah,
so week 20.
So he is out. That might be good news for Rubio because D'Angelo Russell returned today, played not bad. He had, I think, 25 points today. So, but the biggest, I guess, question mark here is not really D'Angelo, but more of what happens to Ricky Rubio.
It's good and bad. Of course, if Beasley was still there and then Rubio and DLo came back, I was guessing Rubio would come off the bench. DLo would return, and then they will have Beasley of Anthony Edwards. It's gonna be their starting three. But now with Beasley out, DLo should just take over that position. Although part of me is thinking that Rubio will still go back to the bench eventually. DLo will start at point, Anthony Edwards, and then they'll probably start. I don't know if it's Kogi or Culver. They'll probably start someone else. That's my guess. So it's still a loss for Rubio, but not as big a loss, I think, if Beasley did not get hurt. So Rubio is hard, not really a drop, but it depends. Actually, if you
wait and see type of situation.
Actually, if you're fighting for your lives right now, I can see you dropping him, Rubio. He's not performing. He's not playing well.
Yeah, he is. He's not.
So it's okay for me. If you want to drop him and get someone hot, do it. It's okay.
Yeah. Another player though that also got news that he will be injected is DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah.
I think he'll have a knee injection. He'll have some knee procedure. The coach said, Nate McMillan said probably a couple of days, but we doubt it will be a couple of days because seems like this is a more serious one.
Has he played since the last time we talked about him?
No,
I mean,
he played one game.
Then,
he played a game or two maybe, and then he's out again, and then hasn't played since. So
stay away.
Yeah, I'll probably just stay away.
Stay away.
Maybe if you have an IL slot, you could stash him there, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not optimistic he'll still contribute as much to your fantasy team, considering the changes that has happened with Atlanta and the way some of the veteran players have been playing, like Bogdan, Danilo Gallinari. They've been playing well.
Lou Williams.
Even
Lou
they've
Williams,
been winning. So they've been
and
winning.
Even Tony
some
Snell.
games,
Tony Snell has been doing not bad
Yeah,
with the minutes he's gotten.
So really not as optimistic on DeAndre Hunter as I initially had before he got re-aggravated his knee injury. All right, so that's it for our storylines. Let's move on first to our waiver wire specials before we move to a new segment, or a segment that we created from the Quickie that Komish posted. Waiver wire specials. Let's start off with Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson, an ad. It's hard to add players like Taj Gibson.
But I've added him in some leagues because, well, come on. I mean, if not 4 blocks, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, he's gonna give you 3 steals today. I'm just gonna update our listeners, our loyal listeners. There was one week where Jeremy said I 9-0'd my opponent in our leagues, in our 2 leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the week that he's trying to get a revenge on me. Because a while ago, it was 8-1. He had 8-1 over me. And I was looking at it like, hey, who's killing me? And I looked at it and it's Taj Gibson. He had 3 steals and I think, I don't know how many. 6.6 rebounds. I didn't have any steal today. So his 3 steals basically had more. Taj Gibson had more steals than all of my lineup today. Mm-hmm. And somebody you don't respect, but somebody who's been producing. He's outplaying Nerlens Noel, as I said, who should be a Sawi player, by the way, if we had the segment today. So we'll just put it out there.
And he played more minutes. He had 25 minutes today.
Yeah. Yes.
Noel had 21, but I think Thibodeau went with the veterans because Derrick Rose also had 25 minutes.
And remember Norvel Pell, Jeremy?
Yep.
He played 2 minutes the other day, then got him injured. But in 2 minutes, he got 2 blocks. So it's like could have been.
Just the unlucky curse in New York.
Yeah, I mean,
on their centers.
Yeah, right now Touch Gibson's gonna play 25 minutes for the rest of the way. I think.
All right,
I think.
so that
we could be added.
He could be added if you need some defensive stats and some rebounds, of course. Denny Avdija of the Washington Wizards.
This one stinks because in one of my leagues I was looking at adding him, and then I just.
Is this a case of Hachimura being out?
Possibly, but Abdi has taken over not Hachimura's spot, but the spot of Garrison Matthews, which the one Jeremy and I said is the worst starter of all time. So Abdi has taken over his spot, and I think it's gonna be that way along the way for the rest of the season. It's a matter of Rui taking over Bertans or Bertans starting over Rui. I think Rui will continue starting with Abdi. I wanted to add him. I hesitated and somewhat took him, and I feel very bad right now because I think Abdi has a very, very good. We could add him to our fantasy playoff game changers. He has that potential. I'm not saying it will happen, but he has that potential and opportunity in Washington.
He is not though a very efficient shooter. So if if you add him, you probably expect him to, do some. He has some 1 out of 10 games, 0 out of 4. He's shooting at around 40%, I would assume. Just a little above that. So he is not a good shooter, but he is a good rebounder. He's been averaging 8 rebounds in the last 8 or 9 rebounds in the last 5 games. So there, Denny Avdija. Killian Hayes returned, but he returned the other day. Today is not really his first game, right?
Not his first game. He had 25. Yes, 25 minutes today. He had a lot of his stats in the last
garbage time.
Actually, and that's why at first people were asking me about him. I said, what about him? And then I looked at the stats again. Oh, okay. He had 4 steals, 3 blocks, I think, or whatever. But they asked me what I think. I think he's not ready. I think he's not that good yet. But he would be having the opportunity in Detroit. Detroit has a 5-game week. So if you want to take a gamble, why not? I mean, if you have an open roster spot, why not? Right?
These are the types of players. I think Avdija and Killian Hayes are the type of players who we are recommending a possible add because they're getting the minutes. They can get the minutes.
And their team is not going. Their teams are not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. Yeah. They're probably gonna play these guys a lot more later on. So you can make a speculative add in case you have a one man there in your roster who is really not performing for you.
My problem with players like these, Avdija, Killian Hayes, Moses Brown, even. We advise to add because, as Jeremy said, they have the opportunity in minutes, but they're not that good yet. So there would be games like, it's gonna hurt. Like Moses Brown today. I mean,
I guess it's not that they're not good. They're good, but they're not great in terms of fantasy. They will kill you in some games when it comes to consistency. But again, you can take a flyer. It's if you've taken a flyer on other crazier picks out there, right? Why not take a flyer on these guys? These guys are lottery picks, so they're good. They should be good. Another rookie who played well today and was expected to play well is Malachi Flynn.
Malachi.
Yes, and he had 3 steals? Oh, I think he had 2 steals and 3 blocks, or the other way around.
Oh, he's the one who has 4 steals and 3 blocks. Killian Hayes was the one who's 4 steals and 2 blocks. But those blocks are, don't disregard them. Won't happen ever again. So, but Flynn, without Fred VanVleet, of course, he's a streamer, he's an ad, he's a DFS player, whatever you want to call it. DeAndre Bembry, the one who started over him today, also played well. Yeah, if you didn't get Flynn, you want to try out Bembry for this week, sure. Remember, Toronto also has 5-game week. So,
So you might be able to squeeze in a couple of games there. And still, Lowry's still out. So these guys...
VanVleet is still out.
But even if Van Fleet comes back, they might still get some chance there. With Lowry out.
Yes.
Today, Boucher started, but shot just 3 out of 12, but still had 3 blocks and 2 steals. He started and played only 20 minutes.
Well, I guess that's his limit. I mean, 20 to 25 minutes. They're probably not comfortable giving him more than that. There are some players whose effectivity kind of, like Nerlens Noel, right?
Yep.
That's why his minutes are
Nerlens,
stats are the same.
JaVale.
Whether it's 20, whether it's 40. So their effectivity kind of, lowers when they play more. So it's okay as long as he's starting, he's playing, we'll take that.
Right, so that's Malachi Flynn. And the last of our waiver wire specials, Reggie Bullock, who has been hot. We mentioned before that he has around 35 threes in a few
35.
games. Now he added, I think, 4 more today.
Five more
today. So
that's
really,
40.
really hot.
He's averaged 4 3-pointers the past month. The past 2 weeks, not month. The past 2 weeks is 4 3-pointers a game. And Tibbs is just in love with him.
Yep.
36 minutes, I think, today. So
31.
I think he's an ad. Yeah, he's an ad.
He should be added. I think in some leagues I can still see him in the waiver wires. Maybe because because I guess people think he's a specialist, like a 3-point specialist, and the name is not as exciting than maybe Malachi Flynn or the other guys. But compared to the other guys we mentioned today, I think Bullock would have more consistency in the role and in minutes. So. And maybe
I think he's a top ad. Yeah. Among
all the players we mentioned today, he would probably be the most consistent in terms of minutes.
And the long-term ad.
Yep.
The most long-term ad.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are our waiver wire specials. So now let's talk about this new segment called Fluke or Real. We'll talk about some players who played well today, and we'll discuss whether we feel that that's the real value that they will give us moving forward, or if it's just a fluke performance. So let's start on with the easier ones, I guess. The Aaron Fox. Let me pull out the numbers. Today, the Aaron Fox had, let me see.
31, I think.
31 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals. Fox has been playing really well. I think Sacramento overall has been playing okay over the past few games.
And look, there's a story that I read that the only reason Luke Walton is still in Sacramento is because Fox is I mean, he bought in the system. I guess the system is him. That's why he bought into the system. Since the All-Star break, he's shooting 50%. He's shooting 80+% from the free throw line, 28 points, I think, and he's just on fire. And I put out a hot take, if you may, that I think going forward is better than those other point guards. Maybe even Jamal, maybe even Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, we know we're hating on Simmons, but I mean Ben Simmons, Jamal Murray, even Russell Westbrook. I think
the Aaron Fox's skill set is probably better than Jamal Murray,
but he's ranked lower.
Yeah, because of his free throws.
Yeah,
I guess.
So who would you choose?
Right now, I'd probably take the Aaron Fox.
Me too. Yeah.
The Aaron Fox or Donovan?
The Aaron Fox. I mean, 50% field goals, 15 games since the All-Star break. It's not something like you say, it will come down.
It's not a fluke.
It's been 15. It's 15 games. 15 games is 15 games. It's already, that's already 4 weeks worth of games. So I think if it comes down, I don't think it will go down to 40% or 41%. So I'm happy with Fox.
And he has better assist rate. So
true. Yeah.
He can contribute, and I think that's real.
I think the harder question, Jeremy, for you is Fox or Chris Paul. Right? I mean, that would be something you have to think of.
Yep.
Because
that's harder, yes.
Right? Chris Paul,
Because
it's
Chris
not
Paul's
Chris
name
Paul
value
is
is quite high.
no, actually Chris Paul is still the better player overall, whether in real life or in fantasy. It's just the team that he is in, Phoenix, has
So
just so many blowouts.
Here's the thing. I think Chris Paul would give you better efficiency,
Oh yeah.
right? But if you need, I guess, higher numbers in terms of the counting stats, probably the Aaron Fox has a little more advantage there. He gives you more points, more rebounds, I guess, consistently. Probably would give you the assist. Maybe Chris Paul is a little bit of an advantage there, but the defensive stats would probably be equal, I guess.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. This version of the Aaron Fox is like Chris Paul marrying Russell Westbrook and they have a kid. And this version of the Aaron Fox
it's a hybrid between a Chris Paul and the Aaron Fox. Russell Westbrook. Somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
It's
a real deal.
Middle.
It's the real deal. If it's not clear yet. For us, it's the real deal.
Next player we'll talk about is Darius Garland. He killed me today, like I said a while ago. 37 points. He had 5
killed
threes,
me too.
7 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. He also had 1 rebound and a turnover. 14 of 22 from the field.
Do you trust it? Will he kill you again this week, you think?
The scoring, probably not.
Yeah.
He's been averaging less than 20 in the past few games. Probably around 15 to 16, around that level. So 37 points, I think, is too much. But the assist is there. I think that's the real number. The steals are probably going to be there.
The 3-pointers.
The 3-pointers.
He's one of the. I mean, he's
probably
averaging 1.8
around
per
2
year.
or 3 per game. I mean, 5 is too much, but 2 or 3 per game.
That's not bad.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that if we're talking about players who can have a great last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, aside from rookies, you have to look at sophomores also who are playing in bad teams, and Darius Garland is one of them. So he will get the chance to score, but I don't think he can score that much. But I think he's the real deal in the sense that I think his assist numbers, steals numbers, and 3-point numbers will increase. Will increase the last 4 to 5 weeks of this season. So that's a real deal for me. But the points is, agree, it's a fluke.
The points is the fluke for me. Next is Davis Bertans. Played well again and had more minutes. He had 24 minutes. 5 threes. That's all he attempted, 5 threes. And had 2 free throws. He had 17 points, 2 steals, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Fluke or real, Davis Bertans?
It's hard, it's really hard. I'm going back until now after I wrote that. I'm still thinking, but I think so it's not really the real deal. I still don't believe that if Rui Hachimura comes back, it's gonna be the real deal. That it's gonna be back to Davis the Fluke. It's kind of flukish. Maybe there will be games like this, but to be consistent like this, I don't see it. If he comes off the bench now, if Rui, I don't know what's wrong with Rui and his shoulder or whatever. If he takes a longer time, then maybe Bertans can do this.
For me, a little flukish. Still don't trust him to, I owned him in a lot of leagues early in the season, and then dropped him when he got injured. And early in the season, I was waiting for the consistency to be there, but he never gave me that. So I think I don't trust him doing it now, especially coming off another injury. So yeah, for me, it's a little flukish. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but hey, we'll see. And the last player here is Keldon Johnson. We talked about him in the past couple of weeks, I think, almost a number of times. Today, he had another double-double.
Yeah, 13 points, 10 rebounds.
Yep.
I'm calling fluke on this. I hope I'm wrong. We're not saying if it's a fluke, you don't add him. Yeah, I should add him. But we're saying it's a fluke that when you add him, don't expect he's gonna do it consistently. And even if he does this consistently, that's all real elite. The only real elite stat that he could really shine in is rebounds. So I'm not that impressed with that. So yeah,
well, for
I
me
think
it's a little fluke. It's more of a fluke because DeJounte Murray didn't play today. That's one player who probably he got some of the rebounds and the scoring from. He would give you some games like this. And over the course of the season, he's already shown that he can give you these numbers, but on a consistent basis, I doubt it. He would give you that. But yeah, so for me, it's quite fluke.
How about the last one, D'Angelo Russell? 25 points and 4 threes today, played so well. Do you think he'll be the good D'Angelo Russell now that he's back?
Yeah. Yes, I think it's a little on the real side because early in the season, he didn't have Karl Anthony-Towns to space the floor for him. So now he'll have Karl Anthony-Towns.
Good point.
I think this is the game number 3 or 4 wherein they play together.
They're together.
If not just the second game, I guess. So I think real in the sense that he has Karl Anthony-Towns there, so he doesn't need to force a lot of things. So I think he can sustain those numbers. Maybe the field goal percentage will go down a little bit, but yeah, should be good.
Yeah, I didn't take that into consideration. That's a good point. I think the presence of Towns. I think they haven't really played much the past 2 years. I
think three games is the most this year. I think I doubt. I don't even think they played together this year.
Yeah, last year I don't think they played much also because Towns was hurt. So that's a good point. I think with that answer, I could say it's a real deal. Yeah.
Although Russell had 7 out of 9 from the field goal. That's real. I mean, that's
7 out of 19. Yeah,
7 out of 19. That's probably real.
Yeah.
He'll probably shoot around that range every night. All right.
Yeah.
So that's it for fluke or real. And that's it for our daily fantasy quickie. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we've been getting nice views in YouTube and people are commenting as well. So thank you guys for watching and supporting Fantasy Benchwarmers, especially the daily fantasy quickie. All right, guys, we'll see you again tomorrow for another daily fantasy quickie. Bye.